All right, Coach, you got to be pleased with the effort again in the first half. You were playing good basketball. The shots weren't falling. JJ Redick took care of that in the third quarter. His teammates followed suit. And I tell you, that's a nice win over a team that really was playing their frontline guys.
It was, and I thought, I wasn't very discouraged in the first half, or even in the first quarter, because I thought we were getting shots that were very makeable shots that we just weren't making. I think Coach Finch told the guys tonight that against this team, you got to get up 43s. I mean, I think we shot 44 or something, I'm not sure, because they take away all the inside stuff, but they give up a lot of threes, and our guys did a really good job. And you can't turn the ball over against them. I think we ended up with 10 turnovers, so if we have 10 turnovers and we're able to get out and run, I thought, we played well. I got to give credit to our bench. Our bench was really good. Frank Jackson, I thought, played one of his better games for us. And, Jackson Hayes was really good. And Nikhil had his moments. So it's one of those deals where, it was a total team effort. But I was really happy with the young guys in the way. I thought Sindarius came in, did a great job defensively. That's who we think he could be as a defender. So there was a lot of good things. And they did play a lot of their guys, and I think that was one of the good things about it is that they played their guys, and we were still able to score 120 points. So I think anytime
Coach,
that happens.
you really touched on it with the turnovers. You were in single digits basically your entire ball game. You forced 21. I guess the final question for me, you think your team's ready. I mean, you only had 3 scrimmages and you're teeing it up for real on Thursday. Did you accomplish what you wanted to accomplish in these 3 games?
Well, I think so. I mean, obviously the game against Utah is going to be a completely different game. The ramp it up part is going to be, the intensity level is going to be much, much higher. But I think our guys are ready. I think they're confident. We'll see what happens, but I'm pretty confident that our guys will compete at a high level and be ready to play.
Hey, Coach, Andrew Doak here from CBS in New Orleans. I apologize in advance for having to already ask the question looking forward to Thursday, but just given this weird nature of Zoom, I figure I might not be able to get the question in. This is kind of a 2-part thought. Thursday, is your expectation for Zion to be able to play it? And just, I don't want to know anything about his family situation. I know that's private, and I know you guys, care about Zion first, the person, but was there any indication whenever he left that there was a legit possibility that maybe based on the severity of what he was going back to, that maybe he might not be able to come back to the bubble? Did you guys kind of have to wrap your mind around that at all?
Well, I think you have to take a look at all the situations there, but fortunately for us, he's back here. He'll be out of quarantine tomorrow, and we'll go from there. We'll see how everything is going to take place, but we're just happy to have him back. And as you said, it's a real private thing with his family, but I think that was first and foremost on our mind, to make sure that everything was fine there, and now he's back, and hopefully he can refocus on the finishing the season and go from there.
Coach, it's David Grubb from the Bird Right. One of the things tonight that was really impressive was the way the guys shifted the defense by moving the ball, not for dribbling and not settling for the first open shot. Is that something that you specifically targeted against this defense, getting them to over-rotate? And then it also looked like with that second unit, you guys did a very good job of keeping Milwaukee out of the paint.
Well, your first question is that they're a really, really difficult team to take the ball and try to beat them on the initial dribble or the initial play. The only way you can play against this team is that you have to move the basketball and get their defense from one side of the floor to the other. That opens up driving lanes, and then when you do that, we always talk about drive, pass, pass, and those are the things that you have to try to do against this team. They're one of the best defensive teams. They're always in the top 2 or 3 best defensive teams in the league, and so they protect the paint and they make you beat them with jump shots. But when you do get into the paint, you got to be able to find the open shooters. And I thought we did a really good job of that. And the second unit did an excellent job of that. I thought they were did a great job of not just passing, but the cutting and everything was good also.
Ian, go ahead.
Hey, Alvin. It's Dan Wyke. Is there anything that you've learned about the style of play or things that matter on the court more in Orlando in this setting than they did kind of before, whether it's communication or anything like that? Did the scrimmages tell you any of that stuff?
I don't think so. I think we had a pretty good handle on what kind of team we had, and we were happy with the team that we had. We thought we were playing good basketball, when the hiatus started. And as I said, we never spoke of being in training camp. We always talked of really just picking up where we left off. We were playing good basketball at that time, and we figured that if we come down here and just got our rhythm back as an offensive team and picked up the defensive intensity, that we would have an opportunity to have some success here.
Great, thank you, Coach.
All right, appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Alvin. Good to see you.
Tonight, do you feel like you got enough work in to be ready for a real game on Thursday?
Yeah, we've played enough in practice. We're one of a handful of teams that have done a lot of 5-on-5 full court. So I feel like we've gotten enough work in, and I know it was intentional to sort of limit some guys' minutes and give other guys more minutes. But yeah, we'll be ready to go on Thursday.
Mark, go ahead.
Hey, JJ, Mark McGinn, USA Today.
Yeah.
Big picture question here with the developments today with the not landing Orleans with MLB. To what extent did that?
Say it again.
With today's developments with the Miami Marlins.
Yes.
To what extent did that increase even more worries of whether this would work, or did this kind of validate, more confidence that this is a different setup and there's different protocols?
Yeah, I mean, it's two entirely different protocols, and you've seen where the protocol has been broken, or even if it's been an excused absence from the bubble, there's a protocol in place to make sure that there's negative tests and whatnot. So I've said this a couple times. I wasn't sure if I was going to feel safe here, and I feel super safe. This is the environment here. I feel has been really good, and the protocols are in place. So it's hard to compare what baseball or what the NFL is doing, because it's not what we're doing. We're doing something completely different. And obviously we're all watching to see how baseball and football work, given the uncertainty of next season as well.
Hey, JJ. It's Dan Wyke.
Hey, Dan Smith. What's up, man? How are you?
You've described yourself as maybe being a little obsessive when it comes to your routines in the past. What's it been like developing new ones in a situation where kind of, if you want to get shots up at a certain time, well, you might not be able to, or if you want to do an ice bath, like, you might not be able to. How did you go about setting new routines, and have you set them yet?
Yeah, I think mentally, my mindset coming into the bubble was that I was just going to have to sort of let go of any expectation of, my routine staying the same. And so really for me, it's just about trying to get as much done as possible given gym availability constraints. Our team has been great about ordering a bunch of individual cold tubs. So I've been able to cold tub after shoot-arounds and after games and after practices and on off days. I think the game day routine is a little bit, it's a little bit different. I think that's the main thing is just working through that a little bit. The timing is a little bit different of buses and table times and whatnot, but I'll work through it. If I had come in here and been like, I have to have the same routine and this would have happened, I'd be messed up mentally, but I'm good.
Hey, JJ, Christian Clark with Noel.com. I think you had 19 of those 20 in like a 5-minute span there. Just what does it feel like when you get into a rhythm like that as a shooter?
It just feels like you can't miss. Just please give me the ball on every possession, and I'm going to try to shoot. That's what it feels like.
Hey, JJ, it's Andrew from ESPN. Alvin has talked about this before, about picking up where you guys left off instead of this being a new training camp. Considering it's been 4.5 months since you guys did leave off, are you guys happy where you're at right now heading into Thursday?
Listen, I don't know what Alvin's talking about, okay? We didn't pick up where we left off. We did 10 fucking days of training camp, full court, 5-on-5 scrimmages. He's lying to you guys. We obviously had to push ourselves a little bit to get back in some semblance of game shape and game rhythm, and I think we did that. You know, the Zion being here and then not being here, you know, having dealt with that during the season, maybe we're just a little bit used to that right now, but obviously we're looking forward to get the big fella back and keep this thing rolling.
Great, thanks, JJ.
All right, thanks.
Hey guys, David from the Bird Rights. Obviously, you don't want to put too much into exhibition type games.
Lost you.
All right, Andrew Lopez, go ahead.
Hey, BI, Andrew from ESPN. Just want to, real quick, even with the limited minutes, do you feel like you guys are ready heading into Thursday? And then second, Alvin kind of talked about picking up where you guys left off. I know it's hard to pick up where you guys left off since it was 4.5 months ago, but I guess it's kind of spinning into the first one. You feel ready for Thursday?
Absolutely. I think these 3 games and us scrimmaging against each other every single day, I think it was definitely a tune-up for us coming up this Thursday. And I feel the guys have got right back to work, right back where we left off on the offensive end. We got better on the defensive end. We changed our schemes a little bit to make things a little bit easier. So I think we're ready.
Hey, Brandon, Doug Mouton at WWL TV in New Orleans. Would you expect rotations to look different Thursday than maybe they did in February or March? I mean, in terms of how many minutes you might play in one span, that kind of thing. Do you think it's going to look different? You maybe need more guys and play shorter spurts. How do you see rotations play out?
I have no idea. I know that we have a lot of guys on this basketball team that can score the basketball, that can defend the basketball, that can shoot the 3. So I don't really think it matters who's on the basketball floor as long as we have good spacing, we're shooting the right shots on the floor and we're defending.
Hey Brandon, this is Shamit Dua of Bourbon Street Shots. When you play against a team that drops their bigs back so far back and you're going to play against another one from Utah, what's the offensive focus there?
To continue to move the basketball. I can't give you a game plan because somebody might go back and look at this, but I think we just continue to move the basketball and just try to get the best shot on our team.
Mark, go ahead.
Hey, Brandon, I got a big picture question here. Today's news with the Miami Marlins, with some of their players having positive cases, and they had to postpone some of the games. Did that increase any extra worry about whether this would work, or did that kind of give extra validation that this is a different setup, that this could be enough to make it?
Well, that's my first time hearing this. But I think the NBA is doing a really good job in the bubble of protecting everybody, doing everything they need to do to keep people healthy, make sure that people are isolated if they have or have been positive on the test. But I think they're doing a good job so far.
Sorry, I got cut off earlier, but coming up against Utah, you guys had 3 really close games. Both were about a possession or 2 apart. How do you go into this game knowing that like Bogdanovich won't be there, somebody who put up some big games, and you also had some very dominant games against Utah How do you feel going into this matchup? And have you guys kind of just tried to game plan a little bit differently for them? Because there are some changes to their roster.
I feel good about our guys coming into this game. I think we worked pretty hard to play against somebody else and try to battle and compete against somebody else. We know we're very familiar with the Utah team, so we know some of the things they like to do, but we have to bring the effort. We have to continue to bring the effort on the defensive end, continue to share the basketball on the offensive end, and we get the best results out of that. We'll live with the results and just try to get better from there.
Great, thanks a lot, B.I. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.